introduced. Hello, Midnight Coders, and welcome to a FAFO, where we are going to explore some PHP. Now, the last time I did PHP, God, it was over a decade and a half ago, probably closer to two. It's been a very long time since I've done PHP, and it was the reason I hate web development. I've refused to touch it since. And here we are today. Josh is going to try to change my vision, and we just disappeared. Poof.
I'm
There
here.
we go.
I'm here.
No, I had your stream up, then my stream just magically went small. Anyway, this
Okay.
is live. This is live. We're great people. So yeah, Josh is going to attempt to change my view on PHP. We had a conversation the other day, and he was letting me know that modern PHP is not as bad as it used to be. I stand firm
Oh,
on my beliefs that PHP is the reason that web development sucks. And here we are to change my view and change my vision. Josh is
right.
here getting himself set up in his environment where he's going to
Yeah.
tell me why.
Walk you guys through it, I guess.
Exactly.
So, right. Um, there's a kind of two main. There's a few implementations of PHP. So first, again, reminder: the language says what the language says that when I add 1 plus 1 in Java, it should be 2. But the only language only says that 1 plus 1 should be 2. Well, must be 2. But it doesn't say how I can achieve that result in the code that will run or compile my code, right? So an implementation is something that follows what the language the rules of the language. So your code and someone else's code, they all work in the way they're intended to. But the way the compiler people go around achieving that can be completely different. So there are a few implementations of PHP, kind of the canonical one, which we're going to be is going to be our fallback right now if Franken doesn't work for me. Um, let's just get Franken installed, and I am I know exactly what to do. Oh wait, give me yeah. Okay, let me for 2 seconds because
Told you to hide that shit.
I know how the internet works,
Told you to hide that shit.
and I know how the internet works, and you guys really like seeing sensitive information. So let's not show you that. They did not see anything bad yet, but it's just not gonna. Okay, so Franken PHP is installed. Okay, download if okay, so I can show this. So there we can see. So I no, I want. Okay, I can't. Wow, great feature. I'll show you this. So there you go. We downloaded PHP, Franken PHP.
Hmm.
It was not able to set. Oh, because I probably that's sudo. Downloaded successfully. Franken PHP uses.
Not if found. Okay, so it uses the PHP ini if found. Binary to
Yeah,
the bin location.
move the binary to yes. So let's do that. So let's go, and it wants me to do that command, which I will actually do. So that is going to be this command. There we go. Oh, now we need to point PHP storm toward to that. So let's do that. User slash local slash bin slash franken PHP. Okay, let's go look. Oh, wait. Did I to user local? Oh, wow. Oh, I am not. Oh, oh,
You stick it in the wrong place.
that's not the problem. Did I just nuke? No, I didn't nuke stuff.
Oh, did you just move something you shouldn't have?
Yeah, maybe.
Hit that thumbs up,
Yeah,
boys. Hit that thumbs up, boys, if
that
you've ever done something you shouldn't have done.
that I should have been more careful. I forgot of something. Oh wow. Okay. Well, thankfully it looks like that is still here.
Um,
Yeah. I think wait.
yikes.
Okay. No. We're okay. Yes, no, we're okay. I thought I screwed up something bad. No, we're okay.
Good?
Phew, that scared. And anyway, it was the suggested command. So, let's.
This is why you don't listen to
Sometimes
AI, folks.
this is sometimes, folks, what happens, right? So let's go Franken PHP. I call it Franken because I probably want a normal PHP. So Franken PHP. Let's go get that. Let's refresh it. User. That's local slash bin. There's Franken PHP.
There we
So
go.
Franken PHP. Why are because
PHP version not installed.
fail to parse validation script output. That is give me a second. I do think that Franken PHP puts a let me do something. Let me do something. Sorry.
Hey, Modwall, you're not that late. Welcome to the stream, dude. We are just getting things set up.
Yeah.
This man's trying to prove me
Why?
wrong, but I don't know. This looks like a win for
All
Gladway.
right. Well, I'm doing what I should not do on Linux. I should just use a package manager. So let's look at Pacman. Yes, so Franken PHP. It's on the AUR. I don't like that.
The AUR.
It hasn't been updated in a long time. All
AUR,
right,
is that
let
like,
me.
are you real? No.
No. For those who don't know, the AUR is all right. Let's just not faff around for this stream. Fine. We will just go to normal PHP, not Franken, which is still this for what we're doing going to be the same. Let's go to
Feels like
yes, PHP.
2010 all over again. Too much
No,
setup.
no, it's one command. normally. PHP Arch. Yes, yes. Okay, so that's all we need to do. Let me go. I'm concerned because normally I would not be concerned.
Mr. KDev Plus just says an easy way to fix this issue is to just install Ubuntu.
This is true. This is true. Okay, so I'm gonna minus my Franken PHP. I'm just gonna say PHP, right? And now if I do so now I have PHP. PHP. Yes. Where is PHP? Okay, so now look at this. User /bin.
Now in English,
This is not
because
my
PH
binary.
makes a F sound, is this programming language just? Sorry, I'm just trying to be funny while you're flopping around.
Yeah. Da, da, da.
I'm not a very funny guy, people. This is why I'm not a comedian.
There we go. Yes. Because you're not admin.
That sounds like a skill issue, bro. Literally, because you're not admin.
Yeah, here it's
That's one
trying
of
to
that's one of Prof's favorite things is as a skill issue. So I feel like that's a very Prof quote to have here.
let's let's get around you by doing something you should very not do, but I'm going to do it. And I'm gonna go. That was still my terminal. I'm gonna do this command.
Flashbang. Damn.
Uh, yeah, flashbang, right? Okay, so sudo. Yes, so let's go to my toolbox. Let's just go. Okay, boom. I am doing what you shouldn't be doing right now. Yes.
I can think of a lot of things I shouldn't be doing right now.
Let's just get
I love that background.
sudo. Let's just get. I did exactly what you shouldn't be doing. I should just go to my package manager. There we go. No more faffing around. Now I think PHP Storm will pick up on it.
Oh my god,
There you go.
Mod1! Because of your flashbang, Modwad said that. Just check the live chat.
Okay, let's check the live chat.
Oh god, I shouldn't find that. I shouldn't find that as funny as it is. All right, so now do we need to download the debugger, Xdebug?
That's what I'm trying to do. So now we have a. We could technically reuse it. This is gonna. Oh. Oh, right. Okay, I know what to do.
So now you're just picking
Let's
a place
not.
to download this stuff.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pick where I clicked before because that requires sudo. So let's just go to yes, that's fine.
Oops.
There you go. Piling
Here
it.
we go. Time to get buggy.
There. Now it's gonna prompt me for my because it's gonna move it. There you go. Successfully installed. There it is. So it's all set up, folks. Hit
Uh,
OK. Hit OK. New project. So we're gonna do two things. First, I'm gonna show the base language of PHP, and then we're going to show off course Laravel. Now, There are a few other frameworks. So there's Laravel, there's Symfony, there's Igniter, and a few others. Of course, if you're doing WordPress, um, but we're gonna stick to that. Symfony is very French, but we're gonna stick. We're gonna go to Laravel.
Leave it to the French.
We're gonna be under Taylor Otwell's framework. So let's go. So one thing I'll immediately point out is this composer.json, right? Composer.json is like um, going to be managing our dependencies, right? And you can see how nice this is, by the way, here, where I can just literally, like, if I want Laravel, I can just look. I didn't even create the project, and already in my IDE, I can start auto completing it. Isn't that nice? I think that's pretty nice.
That is pretty nice.
See our can see our require and our require dev. Okay, so let's create a our
For
play
the for the for
glove
the
a
For the record,
yeah
Josh,
go
you've officially been had. You've been identified.
yeah I see that. Listen, it's fine
You've
because
been spotted by your background.
I
Your
am
your very
aware
unique your very
and
unique wallpaper.
it's okay, right? Okay, so we get bombarded by things.
All sorts of goodies that
Okay,
we don't need.
yes, use PHP, but there's nothing to install because it's just the
What is
default.
composer.far?
Composer as far as the thing that contains the actual dependencies.
Okay,
So
that is new to
Composer,
me. That is new to me. I don't
Composer,
remember that.
did you use Composer?
Nope.
Yeah, Composer is the new that you can run it. It's failing because platform requirements are missing, right? So let's not have bin motions on for this. Let's go. Stop. No, that's gonna fail. So I forget. Yeah, so PHP. Yeah,
Is that saying PHP greater than 7.4 or greater than 8?
let's. No, I don't want that level. I want 8.5. Also, by the way, you can see some, a lot of stuff happening.
Yeah, I when I
Okay,
saw that you were using PHP 8, I was like, damn, I think the last one I used might have been like 3.
here we
It's been a
go.
minute.
We've updated this.
Yeah,
Platform requirement.
you're still missing the platform, yeah.
Yeah, let me look. Maybe it is. Let's can tell how I know a lot about PHP, but there's also stuff I don't know. Uh, Composer, JSON.
My wife's behind me doing some crocheting. We're all being crafty today.
uh, okay, so okay, yeah, so I think what it wants me to do is go.
You have to state
Oh,
like that you're on Linux or
no,
what?
I think it. Let me wait. Default. Yeah. Give me a second. Um, yeah. Let me just do. I don't. It does say what PHP version is needed. That's why I'm a bit confuse, and it's in the require. Let's just, I don't know, I'll just, minimum stability is stable. Please, AI, stop making my experience not good. Let's just say we prefer stable. Yes, we do. Okay, I'm just gonna ignore, to be honest, this because it doesn't really matter for now. Let's go to create some PHP. So let's start with just a normal old PHP file, right?
Mhm.
Get our main. Don't show me. Okay, so. Oh, and also I will not run this as a website. I will run this as a script. There we go. So we have that set up. Okay. So of course, a lot of you know, I'm sure. Well, I'll remind you the basics, right? I think this stuff hasn't changed very gladly. Let's go
Yeah, at least
to
refresh me because it's been a hot minute.
font size,
Oh, control. Oh yeah, you're Alt Control and the plus or minus, or you can just do
and
that.
also I'm gonna do something for you.
Oh, presentation mode. Nice.
No,
So that keyboard shortcuts pop up. Good job. I like that.
yeah,
That's something I need to turn on myself.
right, so that you guys see. Okay, so if I do echo, uh, hello world, of course, this is how we would, you know, this is how we would, sorry, this is not bookmarks. This is how we would run our code, right? There we go. Hello world, right? Just add a new line because we don't want EOF. Um, now, other basics. So if we want to create a function, we can do that right now. And for now, I'm doing something very deliberate, by the way, chat. Not. I am purposefully not. Um, I am purposefully not using modern features. That's on purpose. Gotta keep the. We gotta first. By the way, the PHP storm's really nice. Don't have to. I
You gotta
don't
be
have to say dollar because it will put it for me.
you gotta be
There
gentle
we
with it.
go. If I have an index, I can do this, right? And then I can have A and B, right? A equals $5, B equals 7, and then we can echo add of A and B. There we go. There's
Now,
that 12.
do you need to close that? Okay, never mind. Okay.
What?
I was just to have the whole thing opened up with open bracket question mark PHP. I was wondering if you had to end that
Nope.
similar to
No, you don't.
HTML.
If you're just doing a script, right? Most PHP code will just have that open tag. Now, another important thing about PHP, of course, that is we have namespaces. So, like, let's say I wanted to be like I'm in foo bar, and then I can foo bar, and then I can go like that. That's a modern thing. That's to say the whole file is in it, or I could use
So this is
curly
like how
braces.
you. So is this how you? What is the use of namespace? Sorry, is it
It's about
how you?
organizing. Is now if I
Okay.
have a class here, right? Class rectangle. Let's do this class rectangle. Again, I'm gonna be very deliberate and doing it the old way. Uh, you are angry because what? Okay, fine.
Unexpected. It's
Let's
expecting a
do,
dollar. Oh,
yeah. Private width, okay. Private height. Let's do our constructor. There we go. There's our constructor. Now, also something I'll show you is, of course, for the longest time in PHP, we had something called doc blocks. We would put type information in things like this. For now, I'm gonna be like the old days, and I'm gonna purposefully make this as verbose as possible. Kind of leaving, and you can see it is the ID is already being like, "Hey, buddy, it's no longer. You can come out of your cave. It's no longer right." Go.
Where's
Well, it
better?
spoiled something here for you.
Ooh, type.
Not seeing that yet. Let's generate some PHP doc blocks, and you can see PHP Storm is smart. There we go. So
Okay.
that's good. So we have this class, right? And now if I want to use this class, let's create a R, and then let's say that's going to be $rect equals rectangle. You can see foobar rectangle, right?
Okay, so that went into the namespace. Okay.
Yeah.
See,
And of
I'm
course this.
used to the namespace in the sense of like an HTML file, because like most of my
Right.
modern web development comes from
Well,
HTML.
it's
So.
it's actually a trap. It's an older way of doing things back in the day of like PHP, C Sharp have namespaces. What more modern languages have is modules, which are a bit different. Because the trap of a namespace is I can define, like if I use your library, right?
Mhm.
I can technically put code in your namespace and violate uh I can violate encapsulation completely. And also because I can use your library and then I can use the same path of namespace path as your library, right? And now when I'm going to write code in there that has access to things that might have been restricted to that namespace, right? But more importantly, if I write an inner namespace, right, I can override the definition of one of your things. So, you know, not great, right? So anyway, so let's go here, right? Let's go new rectangle. So let's go 5 and 7. Yes, I know. I know. It's bad what I'm doing. Fine. If you want, let's go here. So now I don't need foo and bar, right? But if someone was using it, right, they would do that, right? And of course, as you'd expect,
Prof
rect.
just a- Prof just asked in the chat, why does PHP look like Java but with a ton of dollar signs? PHP
Back in the
PHP is
there
pricey.
was all right. Listen, we make the joke about Lamborghinis around PHP quite a bit, but hey. So
Well, with all these
as I
dollar
said,
signs being thrown around, I expect a Lambo.
yeah. So as I hinted at, this can be made so much better, like a million times better. Also, by the way, like unlike other dynamic languages, I will remark that if I go to create this, oh look, class, oh interface, yes, interfaces in this language, yes, and traits and enums. Not gonna see those later. Traits are really cool. Traits are really, really cool. However, the Java people might not like them because
Mhm.
traits are a way to make you not have to use inheritance and use composition instead, but in a very effective way.
So is it the same idea as an abstract class? Is that
This trait, no.
yeah,
You'll see this later. Trait is
okay.
completely different.
Okay.
So interface is of course an interface. We're gonna see that later. So I said this class could be made so much better, right?
Hmm.
The first thing I'm going to do is be not like a caveman and actually use types. That'd be a good start.
Now it's looking
Wouldn't
more
it
like
be?
Java. Now it's looking more like Java. Yeah, okay. And then we go with the type here. Now it's looking more like Kotlin.
No need for this dog block anymore. Of course, you should document your code, right?
Your code should be
There's that.
self-documenting.
Now, let's go further. I am technically not setting the value of these things, right?
Hmm.
So let's make I don't want to repeat myself. These these are actually going to be attributes, right? So why don't I just say so?
What? No way. No.
There we go. No need
What?
these calls. So
Oh,
now I've
dude.
created. Yeah, you see? Now
What?
I've skipped all of that boilerplate. Oh, and look at this. Read only. Because these are now read only, they don't need to be private anymore because they can't be set by the user. And so of
Oh.
course, yeah, that's just Sonar being stupid. And also, so now I don't need this anymore, right?
Shit, because the read only comes with its own getters?
No, it's because the point of a getter is to make sure someone can't set it. But
Hmm.
because it's
Make it
read
read
only,
only.
they just can't.
Ooh.
So encapsulation is not violated. And now
Okay,
they
so now
can
you
do
can
this.
just say height.
Because if they were to try to set this value, rec.height cannot write.
Ooh.
Oh, and by the way, unlike Python and JavaScript, these type annotations are enforced. So
Okay.
in most dynamic languages, these would be like type hints. They're more like not actually gonna be checked, right? These here are enforced. The JIT will make initial checks, and after it will optimize those checks away. But we'll make initial checks to see, are you respecting the type system? Are you, and if you pass a float, you will get booted out of the bar. Now, let's
So
make
now
this even more
hold on a
compact.
second. Hold on a second.
Ooh,
I'm a little
even more
confused here.
compact.
Why is it on line 28 that you're able to just reference the height as height rather than $sign height?
That's just how we access attributes. That's a PHP.
Okay. Okay.
But look, isn't this so clean and simple? I have a
Okay.
read-only
So
class. All the things are read-only. I build in the constructor. I say this rectangle has a width and a height. These are also attributes, so there's no need to do anything else, right? And there's
for my nerdy Java self, is this essentially a PHP record?
yes, this is a record.
No.
Pretty nice.
When
Pretty nice. But unlike a record, I can still, if I want to add some random, let's add a string whatever parameter, right? And I'm not rich enough, so I'm sorry. Um, so there, right? And now I can do something with whatever, right? I'm not constrained to rules. These rules are, I am, but what I'm saying is that it's much more, and yeah, now this is a problem, right? But I'm saying that It's PHP. Modern PHP is nice because it has all these quality of life features, but it doesn't force you into something, right? Okay. Now you thought this is all I have to show you. Oh, you are dead wrong. There's so much I have to show you about modern PHP. Let's begin, shall we? Let's begin. So it used to be that in old PHP, you had to write arrays by using the array keyword, right? If I wanted an array like podcasters, and I used to have to go array and then go glabe Yash. Yes, let's remove the namespace because it's gonna make me go crazy. Let's make it there we go. Okay, glabe Yash prof, right?
Mhm.
So this is the old way of doing it, right? We're no longer in the old school days, of course, as you'd expect from a modern language. You can create an array just like that. Nice little quality of life.
That's cleaner, a lot cleaner, and still very descriptive as an array.
Used to be, but if I wanted to get glabe Yash and prof into separate variables, I'd have to go glabe equals podcasters 0, and then I would go Yash and prof, and then of course I would,
Too.
increment this.
Mhm.
But this is a lot of code. I think we can do much better, can't we? Yeah, I think we can. So let's do much better. Let's um let's simply do glabe oops, Yash prof equals podcasters. There we go. Nice and
Wait,
easy,
wait, what?
right? If I echo glabe echo Yash echo prof, we will see. Oh, look at that. Oh, there's no new lines, but you see it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Glave, Yash, and prof. That's
Jesus.
array destructuring. Much better now. Much more convenient. Do
Wow, that is
you want me to
that.
take this further? Of course you want me to take this further. Let's take it further.
I keep blowing
Let's
my mind.
say
Let's go.
I want a function that does can't call it foo. It does something, right? Actually, it's something like um call out uh greet podcasters. And then I'm gonna do something really weird, but just to show you the feature, right? Let's say that I have um glabe. Oh, okay. No, let's do main podcaster, and then I'm gonna remove glabe purposefully from this array for now. Main podcaster. Now, this is going to be, of course, that is not how you do it. We're gonna type check our thing, of course, because we're civilized folks around here. We're gonna do main podcaster, and then I'm gonna do secondary podcaster. Um, let's not do secondary. Other
Let's go with
podcaster
let's go
with
with host.
a,
Let's go with host and
you
co-host.
know, richness
Oh,
indicator.
okay. I was gonna say co-host, host,
And
and
other
guest.
don't write code like this, by the way. This is more meant to be an example, right? So let's say I have this code, right? And it does nothing, right? I mean, it returns void, right? So I have this code. So let's just do it in here. Let's say I echo main podcaster, echo. I'll just do something. Let's do this. And then let's go other podcaster and other podcaster.
One is other podcast and other podcaster.
Yeah, luckily we have an ID. Luckily we have an ID. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to call greet podcasters, right?
Hmm.
With glabe, hard coded. And then I'm going to do this funky thing.
A hierarchy.
Podcaster. So, podcasters is an array. And I splatted the array into my arguments. Right? So Jasch is going to be other podcaster, and Prof is going to be other podcaster too.
Okay.
There you
Huh.
go. And
Your
Echo
new
doesn't interpret.
I was gonna say your new line didn't work out so hot.
Yeah. But you see, you get the point, right?
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
quite cool. This is quite a dynamic language feature because it relies on the array being very, loosey-goosey. Okay. Of course, by the way, I didn't show this, right? But of course, how do you do it? I forget. Right, because I'm at the global scope, I can't do this. So there we go. Now, I think that's a good snazzy feature. But
That
I want to
is.
take it a bit. I want to take it even further than this. I do. I can't help myself. So let's create some weird array that has Hayden, the podcasters, Glabe, and let's say it has of 5 and 6.
Okay, this is
And
a cluster.
what?
I said, okay, this is a cluster.
And now, of course, we'll see. Let's mute this.
Array to string conversion.
Uh,
Stack trace.
yeah. Da-da-da. Oh, right. Yes.
Do you have to cast that or?
No, because it's because of I will show you the debugger, right? So if I shift F9 and let's do some bogus statement.
So the weird
Weird
array
array.
has 6 elements. Okay, and it's got a
There you
mixture
go.
of strings and ints.
But most importantly, I splatted these arrays into
Mm-hmm.
this other array, right? I just spread them. I splat them. I think that's pretty cool.
That is
That's
pretty
spreading and
cool.
splatting.
Giggity giggity.
Uh, so course, if you want a variadic function, I'll just show you that right now. That is not anything new. If I want to create a sum of numbers, right?
Hmm.
Return the array sum of numbers. There we go. Now, of course, I can, I can end this, by the way, is an int, and this not like that. There you go. So now I can do echo sum of 5, right? And then, of course, variadics, right? I can pass any number of arguments I desire, right? And we will see the unreadable mess, but yeah, that's 5, and then we see
21.
21. Yeah. Wait, let me just. Yeah, I'm also just gonna.
Is that actually going to work this time?
Yeah. It works because the other one was the character, so the character is just put wrong. Okay, so I mean it's not interpreted string. I did. Okay, so that's that. Let's show off. Um, do we have any fans of JavaScript? I'm kidding. I know we don't. But let's. I'm kidding. We do. But I don't know. But let is Prof here? I heard that other laugh.
I don't know if Prof's still in the stream chat or not. He wasn't in the voice chat.
Okay, so let's I'm just gonna show you this one. So this is if you want arrow functions, they're also now in present. If I want to map an array, let's say an array with 2, 6, 9, right? Oh, right. Yeah, that is weird. Oops. Oops. Let's do array. Let's do the same thing we did. Int numbers.
We have zero fans of JavaScript.
Okay, sure. Int number. Let's not make this variadic. That'd be very weird. Number.
I like getting weird.
There we go, and then we can probably put this back in a. Oh, I shouldn't do. Uh, let's create. Yeah, let's just create. Let's do echo, and then let's put it back into. And let's do 2, 7, and 9. That is going to complain. Don't do that. That is a bad idea. Okay. And if I echo, this is going to fail. Yes. This is gonna fail because it knows that you can see actually it deduced the type. And by the way, this is a spoiler up ahead. We can have, unlike things like Java, I can say that something is a float or an int. Very nice.
What? That's cool.
Okay, so it's not gonna like this. Let me just show you blah, because if we show you at the debugger, we will see that. Oops.
You gotta go to the next line.
No, because it was actually doing it was going in through the things in the function, right? So we had this anonymous function, right? That took a number and multiplied it by 2, right? As we can see in the result 4, 8, 18, we did that map, right?
Mhm.
Does that make sense to everyone? I think that makes sense. It's just we have anonymous functions. You used to not have those anonymous functions, right? But I know you Java people. What do you
I like,
like more than functions?
I like my
You
lambdas.
like classes. All right,
Yes,
I'll
yes, I
show you.
like class.
So So let's create an interface called a logger that will have some bogus log function, right? Log that does log that does nothing, right? Let's call this a logger, right? And now let's say I have a function which is going to log my shit, my stuff. And
Mm.
that's going to take a logger, right? So logger is a logger. There's that logger, right? It's that interface. So it's any implementation of logger, right? And I'll just call logger log, right? But now look, check this out. Of course, I could pass an actual implementation of logger, but just like you Java people, and this is still very rare in most languages, I can in fact do oops, that's not what I meant to do. I can create an anonymous class implementation, right? I can say new logger. New. I always forget how you do this. The anonymous. Yeah, so let's do it. So new class, right? Implements logger. Add
Mm.
method stubs. Now that was weird because that is better. Yes, there is in fact missing. There we go. We can format that. There you go.
Ah.
Like Java, right? Except this is still very
Okay.
rare as a feature. Anonymous class that implements the interface.
It's an interesting way
I've
of doing
also
anonymous classes.
still kept all my bangers, by the way. I haven't shown
Okay.
you a lot of my bangers. Okay, so let's talk about something that PHP just flat out does better than Java. Let's talk about null. Yes,
Mm.
all the null operators, they're here too. Let's have fun with it. So let's say I get some, let's say I have a map, so an associative array. So let's say that I have groceries.
Wish, but not in this economy.
Associative, anyways, map, associative array and associative array, PHP. Yes. So let's just create I'm just going to do it this way. So I'm going to do it this way. Of course, we're going to do it the modern way. So let's say I have apples and that I have 4 of them. Let's say I have tomatoes and let's say I have 7 of them. Okay, great. Very simple, right? So now I
Quick,
want to
quick,
use,
quick
yes,
question. Is this similar to a map with the
it
key
is a
value
map.
pair? Okay.
This is in fact a map. See how nice it is to
So
write
you
it
like
literally like Python?
so you identify a map the same way as an array, except you just simply
Yeah.
point it to a value.
Yes.
That's
Automatic.
that's pretty cool. Okay, that's
Okay.
pretty cool.
So let's
That's
say
pretty smooth.
so let's say I want to get so by the way, as you'd expect, right? If I want to get the groceries of apples, right? Oh, you can see how smart my IDE is, by the way. Look at this. Mm-hmm. Okay. But I can say, okay, let's say I say that it is going to be groceries of fruits or 5.
Whoa, that's how you do or? Double question mark?
No, no. When an associative array, when something doesn't exist in an array, fruits is not in the array, right? This will return null. However, I say, well, hey, wait a second. If it's null, don't use null, use 5 instead. So here I'm
Okay.
doing null safety. Because with a null coalescing, I'm guaranteeing that the resulting type is no longer null. And in fact, I can drop the question mark in my type. Normally you have a question mark. Like I can
Hmm.
say that this might be null, right?
Yeah.
But here, not null. And I can even be
Okay.
shorter than this. I can. If I can just go groceries, tomatoes equals groceries. Yeah, no. So I can do this. What is this funky looking thing? This says if this is null, put it to 2. If it's not null, leave it as is. So if it's not null, nothing's going to happen. But if it is null, we're going to set a value, a fallback value in it. And also this allows the JIT to have a guarantee that there's no null possible, which has for optimizations and null safety and, you know,
Hmm.
no null pointer exceptions headed your way.
That's really interesting. I like that.
Okay, of course, and of course you have what you also have, by the way, you have null chaining, right? Like if I want to call groceries on sheep, I can go, oh wait, yes, okay, give me a second. Oh, because this is not, let's make this a rectangle. Um, okay, so give me a second. Yeah, so let's say, what is a thing I can do on an int? Um, I don't think much. Yeah, I can't do anything. Oh, wait, can I?
Isn't it read only? Oh,
No, that's
you're
not
looking to see
that.
what you can do.
I'm looking at a method I think I could call on it, right? That's not a good example for me. Let me pretend that this is not an int, right? Let's say that this is in fact a rectangle, right? That's stupid. Okay, let's just keep going. So what I could do, right, is I could go, let's say it's a logger, okay? Boom. Let's say this is a logger. This doesn't make sense, right? What
Hmm.
does that mean? That means if it's null, don't call the method. Like this will not cause a problem. It will return null, by the way. If you wanted to use the value of this, it will return null. If this is null, right?
Hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
But if it is not null, call the method.
Okay.
So if my thing is null, don't do anything. If it is, if it is null, don't crash. Just keep on going, right? If it isn't null, do it.
Okay. That's
Pretty
pretty
convenient.
straightforward.
And this is very useful. This is a feature you'll find in many modern languages like Kotlin, C Sharp, Swift, right? It's all these features about null are make your life so much easier because you don't have
Yeah.
to do a bunch of checks. Like I'm in a
Yeah, I
tree.
like.
I might have a parent. If I have a parent, do something to it. But if not, I don't care. I'm on the root. Just keep on going.
Yeah, that's one of the things
Okay.
I like about Kotlin is the null checks and the null safety.
Now, like a caveman, right? Let's change topics. Let's talk about functions a bit more. So, like a caveman, if I wanted to um browse, let's to create a function that says like
Prof asked a
uh
question in chat, by the way, when you're done with this.
what's the question?
It was how performant is PHP compared to Java?
Oh, slower but much faster now. And honestly, for 95%, 98% of businesses, way more than enough. There was a massive performance gain in PHP. Like we're talking orders of an order of magnitude gain in performance. So, and it's also always been JIT. It's a JIT. So PHP is not as fast as Java, but honestly doesn't care because it only matters if you have more. Like if you have more than 50,000 users, then maybe consider it, right? And even then, right? So function, and I'm going to show you why you would
Just
care,
stepping away for a
why you would want that. What?
I do I do have a little bit of a question there. You have mentioned this a time or two that JIT. Um, what relation does PHP and the JIT, or is there a different? Like I hear JIT and I'm thinking about the just-in-time compiler from the JVM.
The standard implementation of PHP is a just-in-time compiled version, right? That's all I'm saying, right? When I run my code here, it is just-in-time compiled. Okay, so, which by the way doesn't mean what you think it might mean. That doesn't mean what it means to be just-in-time compiled, right? Is there's an interpreter that just executes as normally, right?
Yeah,
And then
because again,
um
I hear JIT and
there's
I think
yeah,
about the
yeah.
Java.
So like you interpret code, right? Normally. And then the runtime will look at certain functions, certain class looks at your usage of your code. Like what functions is he using most? What are the hot paths? That's the question the runtime's trying to answer. What are the hot paths, right? And what are the
So
values he's passing to those hot paths, right?
so very similar to
Then
the same idea.
yeah,
Okay.
and then the just-in-time compiler is called on those hot paths to produce a compiled version of that function. And actually, a just-in-time compiler's output is oftentimes more optimized than an ahead-of-time compiled version
So
because
pro
the just-in-time compiler has much more context about your usage, so it can make much more aggressive optimizations.
Prof took a stab at you. He said, so syntax very alike Java, but performance worse than Java. Sounds like a bad deal.
Oh, you have not seen my stuff yet. It is a
So,
really good deal.
so I am curious. After you kind of run us through this, you had mentioned potentially taking one of my challenges and doing it in
We will
PHP.
do that.
I,
Yeah,
I am
we'll do
so
it in
cu-
Laravel.
I'm super
We will do it in
curious to see it.
Laravel.
Perfect.
And also, I think there's quite a few things here that just Java doesn't have. So you know this, Prof. But I'm staying. I've
He,
purposefully, I
he's
have
waiting.
purposefully not shown you my best stuff. I'm getting there. We're gonna get there. Although I will say the class thing was pretty nice.
Yeah, the classes are nice.
So let's say I want to now. I want to. This is a very basic thing, right? But I'm showing this because someone who was used to this old version of PHP might not know how nice it's just become to do these basically, how modern the language is, right?
Hmm.
Now, a function is okay. Let's create, and also the other reason you want to use PHP, just to be clear, is because the ecosystem for the web is still incredibly strong, right?
Hmm.
Like the amount of code out there written for the libraries and such for web and frameworks and all that for PHPs is incredibly strong. So, oh, give me a second.
Oh, man had to just mute up for a second. I think he just got a call, or something IRL. But I'm actually learning quite a bit, and I'm really enjoying what he's showing me so far. I definitely seems to have come a long way since the early 2000s when I had first used PHP. Um, this seems to be a little bit more enjoyable, and I think I would have actually enjoyed it a little more if it had been like this in the early days.
So get through all my language things, right? So, let's say I want to create. Let's say I want to do something. So let's say I want to do name arguments, right?
Love you,
So
Prof.
let's say I have
Prof said that
one.
the only web ecosystem he cares about is Mike to help him when he fucks up in Spring Boot.
Listen. Okay, so let's actually use that feature I was talking about. String or null. Oops. Let's say it's string or null, right? String.
I like that you can say that string or something.
Oh, I can do even crazier stuff. I can use the and symbol. I can say something is and. I can do parentheses and ands in my types.
Can you do more than just one string or null? Can you do like say float or int or double or null? Like you can chain them? Okay.
Hmm.
Prof seems very excited. He's in all caps yelling at you in the chat. You have
Oh God.
multi cursors in IntelliJ? What? Of course we have multi cursors,
I,
Prof.
yeah, I do, buddy. I do, buddy. Okay, so there's that, right? And by the way, this and symbol would mean is a rectangle that is also implementing logger, right? That's what
Okay.
that means. Let's just go back to something a little less crazy. Okay, have these equals nulls, right? It used to be that if I wanted to call this function, right? I have to go named arguments, and then I'd have to do blah blah null. I'd have to put a null, right? And then to keep on going, right?
Yeah.
That's the old way of doing it, right? Maybe you grew up doing this at the start when you were
Uh
still
huh.
doing Peach, right?
Okay. Now
But
you're.
you used to do
I'm waiting
that.
for the mind blow moment.
Well, this is not such mind blowing if you've done any other language than Java. But
Can I do
well,
named?
yes, you can. One
Ooh.
blah, two blah.
Oh, you missed your.
Oops. Yeah, three blah. Okay, there we go.
Would that? Can you change that 3 to a 4 and just ignore that third
Oh,
parameter?
I can. No issue.
What? Okay, there we go.
Thumbs up.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
I'm showing you the little. the little conveniences, right? First. That's kind of on purpose, right?
Hmm. I do not know if I'm
So,
going to be dropping my spring boot anytime, but
oh,
I may
oh, I have not gone to that yet. Okay. So, there's a few ones that I'm skipping. Here's a really nice one. I'm gonna use this straight up the same example as the person. Password. Attributes, of course, like in other languages.
a
Sensitive.
sensitive parameter. Ooh,
What does that mean? That will be redacted from all stack traces.
really? That's
Yes.
actually nice to have. That's something I
So
wish that Java had, was being able to flag something as sensitive.
yeah, so that won't be included in any stack trace. And you won't leak anything sensitive, which is kind of nice.
That actually is
Because
really nice.
if someone has a log, right, or some kind of they have to send some kind of log to you, right? All the shit that you're not supposed to know is not there.
Hmm.
Of course, you can add other attributes, right? Attributes are just a feature, right? Uh, we have match statements, of course. Pattern matching is now in the language. I'm going to show you that very quickly. Um, this is a good example. I'm going to also use this example. Match status code, right? And then let's just do that for now. And then I have a default and say unknown. And I haven't defined status code, but yeah, it's telling me these other ones are completely useless, but that's fine. Okay, bit of pattern matching.
That is quite nice. Now, with I'm just curious, are you able to say anything like codes between 200 and something
I'm not
else?
an expert at the pattern matching feature, so
Hmm.
I'd have to look that up. Uh,
'Cause I believe with Kotlin, I can do like
yes,
200
yes,
dot dot dot
yes. And
300.
I'm pretty sure you can. I'm pretty sure you can because it's just a standard pattern matching thing. There are weak maps in the language. I'm not going to show that here. Weak maps are pretty cool to avoid. A weak map is a map of things, right? But it's not considered like a usage of it in regards to the garbage collector. So a weak map is like I have a pointer to these elements in memory, right? But
Hmm.
don't consider that as an actual usage, so the garbage collector is allowed to clean that up, even though I still have a reference to it. That's what a weak
Okay.
map is.
Okay.
It can be very useful because there can be it allows you to break certain. There can be something called an immortal object where there's a circular reference and GC just doesn't clean it up because there's from the garbage collector's perspective, you're always using it, and that allows you to avoid that.
Okay.
I'm so sorry to the actually no so I'll just show you enums quickly, right? If I have an enum A, right, I can assign a value to it by the way, whatever I want. So
That's
int
cool.
is what you're used to, but I can go like this is a rectangle, right?
Huh.
I think it must be int or string. I thought that. So let's do int and go. Oops, that's not how you do enums in
Um,
PHP.
Prof had asked you another question in the live chat.
Sure.
He asked, is PHP reference counted? reference loops should get collected by a mark and swap algorithm.
Mark and sweep.
Or mark and sweep, sorry, I read that wrong.
Let's look.
I added an A into that for some reason. Those two E's became
It's
an
our
A.
it's ref counted,
They
and
are.
it's a ref count, and it uses a cyclic garbage collector to resolve that is circular memory references.
So
Okay,
your enums, they're defined as case B, case C, case D?
yeah, that's common in other languages.
Okay. I'm so
Okay, so I'm going to show you the more big features. I've already shown you quite a bit. I think there are a lot of pretty big bangers in here. Let me
Python plus
go
plus.
and do this trait. Let's do an addable trait. Add takes a. Now we know that we can do this. Returns an int, right? Turns
A plus
a
B.
plus b.
Okay.
Okay. Now let's say I want to do. I'm going to create two calculators.
Yeah.
I'm going to do.
Oh, you just tell it to use.
And now look at the structure view. It's not. Oh, look at that.
Okay.
Add is available on calculator and B. So this allows me to do composition without inheritance. I
Hmm.
can define a reusable piece of code and it can become a method of any class I want.
That's actually really cool.
Very nice.
Very.
So I'm now going to go to there's a lot of other stuff now. There's generics. There's the pipe operator has been added. There's a lot of other niceties. I'm gonna skip a lot about that. Pipe operator though, pretty cool. So let's talk about um, let's do some web development, shall we?
Hell yeah.
Let's
You
go
want
do the to-do list. So I'm gonna go new project, Laravel.
was the to-do list on my list of challenges, or is that just one we're
By the
gonna
way,
do?
look at this strong ecosystem, right?
Hmm.
I want do I want to use AI? Do I want to include the command line envoy? So that's Blade is going to be the template engine. Folio or router. Authentications, mobile applications, token-based APIs, everything you want. Scout, full text search to eloquent. So that's the RM. Telescope, not the other telescope I'm sure Prof is speaking about. Look into request. There's just a lot of stuff, right? Let's say I am going to use. I'm going to stay very simple. I think I'm going to use. Yes. Let's not use. Let's treat a fairly simple experience. I think I am going to use nothing. So let's just go simple. like you can see I can. So Livewire is, by the way, using a kind of like Blazor. Not going to do that now. We could. Livewire is really cool. Let's just use Livewire. Livewire, and then we're going to call this to do. There you can see it. It's installing Laravel. Taking a bit. Okay. Someone thinks he's at Final Jeopardy.
Damn, this is taking a hot minute to
It
initialize
is.
or install. Oh, there we go.
I didn't have it on my computer, right?
Ah, okay.
That's why. Now, where is there's PHP, by the way, there's the code. Okay, so where is probably wait a second. Yeah.
Like how it says that there's a bunch of stuff.
What?
Just there, how
Here?
it says that, yeah, it says how there's a bunch of stuff there, but yet there's nothing in the folder.
Yeah. Let me
You're probably going to have
see.
an issue because the file still exists, so I think it's gonna the folder still exists to do. So it's
Not
probably
that one.
oh, okay.
I think I should have just given it more time. Let me cancel this.
I was gonna say, what did you do? Did you cancel it last time, or I thought it did take its
No.
time and do things.
Yeah, it does. Let me go back out. What I meant to do was go Laravel. It's going to let me because I'm going to say yes.
Create from
Oh, okay.
existing.
So it still wants it. All right.
Oh, Prof is asking, did it blow up? Oh, and he
No, it's
also apparently said that that composition propaganda is what he calls mixin-based interface inheritance.
you listen. Listen. I like it. Okay. There we go.
Damn, that generated
That's
a
the
lot of
but that's
fucking
the point,
shit.
right? Because I don't have to think about anything, right? It's all set up for me. And actually I can use commands to generate entire models like in like one line. There's my tests. Okay. Let's install our composer dependencies. This is actually set up properly.
Sweet Jesus.
Platform requirements are missing. Oh, because I must be missing something.
Platform
But I think
requirements. Wasn't that the same issue we had
it was.
at
I
the
don't have
beginning?
pins. No, I do. Let's enable pins. Okay, so I have everything. There's all the stuff, by the way. We can see it. Look at how much Laravel is developed. Can have editor configs. There's my artisan thing, which we will see later. Now, let's get started, right? Of course, the app folder is where the stuff you're used to is. There's my model. There is my model. Very simple to the user. So we are using a database. Okay. You also get to see a bit more sophisticated PHP code. Now, and also because, by the way, look at this. Who needs other stuff? Let's create a model. Let's have it called a to-do. So it's gonna have a new field that's gonna be called an ID.
I thought IDs comes out of the the right hand side. Okay, never mind. I don't
Oh,
know what I'm
wait.
talking about.
Yeah, it does. I don't need that. You see, I'm not a big I'm not used to Laravel that much, but I know it's very good. But you can see, look, isn't this cool? How it's all set up for you? I think it's pretty cool. So I can go directly and say name and then due date. And then I can say done.
Let's do data.
This
Can you use
is
time
going to
dates?
be,
Oh, date time. Look at that. Or timestamp. Yeah.
and then let's do a Boolean.
Okay.
There we go. Generate. Sounds good. There's that model. You can see how simple
And
it is.
an extended model, which is where the ID and the creation came from.
Yes.
Okay.
A lot of magic happening in this file.
Sweet baby Jesus.
But hey, that's what makes it so easy, right? Look at how simple this is. I think this is simple. I'm just
Yeah.
surprised we don't have a. Oh, there's the name. I think that might be unnecessary because I think there's already name built in. It's okay. That's my model.
Well.
Let's keep going. Controller. Let's create a. Also, by the way, this should be here. I didn't put it here, but that's what it should be. You can see also, by the way, updated namespace automatically. So let's go and say this is going to be a to do controller. There's that index. So let's say I want to do a, oops. So here you can see I can override what I need. All right. I always forget. Yes. Give me a second. Let's just create a route first. So
I was gonna ask how you do the routing because like for me for Spring Boot I would just annotate that with request mapping and give the route that I want.
there, by the way, there's that thing, right?
Okay,
Please, for
so
goodness sake, stop. Stop. And also, not only you stop.
IntelliSense or code
No.
suggestion.
Yes. I can accept my completions in peace.
Hmm,
Oh. Give me a second.
Flashbang. Hmm,
Mm-hmm. Yes. There's that. Okay, now it's working. So let's go and say I want to get to-dos. Create a function fn.
hmm. Prof is ripping on you for your white your light theme.
I'll make you more angry if you keep on going. Honestly, light themes are better for your eyes. I do like them. So let's just do I'm thinking. So by the way this is done, right? I'll show you this welcome view, right? This is that blade template. So this is what you'd expect. It's like a lot of other templating things, right? We can also use Livewire, which is we're using Livewire here, which is allowing us to do kind of like HTMX style things. I think
Okay.
there's our database, by the way. If you ever wanted to see where that happens, there's our migrations, our factories. Look at that. Look at user already set up, by the way. User is already set up. That's how productive you are with Laravel. Where's that config? We're not going to touch that. Again, I have to remind, I'm not a Laravel expert, but I think Laravel is very productive and very cool, right? So let's do something. Let's create Laravel control. So let's go back to that controller. Now, you might be, what is index, right? Well, here's how it works. So let's go and say to-dos. To do model.
Did you just
Wait,
call it capital to do?
no, it is there. It's just I haven't imported. There
Oh,
you go.
okay.
So there's that model. I immediately have an all thing on my model, right? You get
Hmm.
all the to-dos. I can return a view. Actually, I don't. I guess I'll do this. To-dos dot index. variable name. Yeah, so the view doesn't exist yet. We have to create it, right?
Hmm.
Let's say I want to do a show. So create these views. I'm also okay. So by the way, what live wire components are, right? Is let's do that. So let's do this, right? Is PHP artisan make live wire to do's dot index.
Do you have one? Do you need make and two colons or just the one?
That is all.
Oh, it was because that wasn't done. Okay.
I just generated a bunch of things. So make did I not add live wire?
I thought you did, or maybe it was just that you mentioned it.
Yeah. Let's use my ID. I don't think it's gonna suggest it. No. You can see, by the way, we can see everything that the thing can do.
Hmm.
It's all built in, right? I think you're getting the point of Laravel a bit, right? I don't need to get out all these basic ideas that are always the same across frameworks, right? I
Hmm.
can just use it. It's already built in to the thing. I can just use it immediately.
Yeah, I use Spring Boot, so like our Spring framework, so I'm kind of making comparisons in my head to from Laravel to that,
Right.
so that I have an understanding. It's I don't know. I seem to like my. There seems like there's a lot of bloat. I don't know if it's just me or if it's just all the different. I don't know.
I would say
Or maybe it's just
it
there's a
depends on
lot that gets generated for a blank
there's a
project.
lot that is generated, but that's why you use Laravel, right? Someone who uses Laravel does not want to have to deal with any of those things, right? Someone who uses Laravel wants to get their things shipped in quality fast, right? That's what they care about, right?
Hmm.
So Laravel is there to save them as much time as possible, right?
Okay.
Is that making sense?
It is. It is. It's sort of like a bootstrapped way to get your application up and going.
It's a batteries included approach to web development. That's what you're not used
Mhm.
to. It's batteries included. It means that everything I need to build a full enterprise grade application, right, is right there out of the box. If I need off, I have all of it, right? If I need mobile, I have all of it, right? It's just this ideal, right? So let's just create a blade component. Let's just create it manually. So let's go to our views, which are going to be
Where
um
are they in
look,
resources?
yes. Oh,
Up at the top of the screen, hit the target icon.
I know. It was just lag.
Oh, okay.
There's our JS, by the way. There's nothing in it. There's Tailwind CSS already configured, by the way. Let's just create a blade. Add application database. That could be good. I'll do this for now. There we go. So let's create a to-dos dot all, I think.
Was it to-dos dot all that you had?
I
Or
don't
was
think
it
it was.
to-do controller?
Yeah,
Top
true.
top of the screen. To-dos dot index and to-do dot show.
Yeah, to-dos dot index. Okay, to-dos dot index. I could have just used the.
Now it's not a blade. It's yeah.
Yeah, I know. Now this will stop. Create view. Oh, right, because I have to create into the to-do folder.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. You got to rename it to just
Yeah,
to just index.blade.
there we go.
Okay.
And
So now,
now let's
so now the
try.
controller should be happy.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, you can see this. It's linking me to where this is used, right?
Hmm.
And to-dos dot
That's
index.
to-dos. To-dos. Change it to to-do.
Oh,
Get rid of the
yeah.
yeah.
You're
There
getting some of it better than me.
you go. Well, I mean, at this point, it's just making sense from the just from using the view controllers in
Right.
Spring Boot.
Okay. So, fun fact, actually the creator of Laravel was used to be a C# developer. Um, so let's use this. So I don't have Livewire, which would be it's a bit annoying because Livewire would make this so easy. But I guess this is, your good old um give me a second. Oh boy. Resources.
Prof thinks very highly of me, apparently.
Why?
His comment: never underestimate the power of a Java dev with 20 years of experience. But apparently, I keep proving that I'm a goat. I don't know. I might be a wild animal, but I'd like to be a Mustang, not a goat. I want to be a stud. All right, back to this.
Give me a second. Oh right, I know what I'm doing wrong.
Override is in the live chat.
He said,
Override, if you're available, jump into the igloo. Override's just in there chit chatting with Prof in the live chat now.
"Oh, I see."
Now we just need to get Tonic Box up in here, and we'll truly have the goat gang. Then we can rename this igloo into Burn, because we're nothing but a bunch of goats. Today we're Override. We are exploring PHP or modern PHP. Josh is taking my old ass through why PHP quote doesn't suck. So I've
I
had
don't think it does.
I don't know. I'm starting to think that it doesn't, but at the same time, I'm not ready to hang up my Spring Boot hat.
It's just so productive. I'm a bad example at this because I'm not. I'm not.
Actually,
This.
Override, jump into voice chat with us, dude. You know Laravel. We're working with Laravel right now.
Oh, he knows Laravel?
Yes, he knows Laravel. I know he does because he used to dick around with it a couple years ago when we used to do some stuff. He's actually I think one of the first people I met that used Laravel.
See,
But yeah, Override. If you if
another follower of Taylor.
you don't, I thought you did. I thought you did use.
I think you're confusing people.
I must be
Unless
confusing
unless
people.
he's what? Unless he's not willing to admit to it.
Prof says that you and him are gonna make me drop my Spring Boot hat when we do C sharp.
Okay.
I doubt that. I doubt that. I'd like to see you try there,
I have a
Prof.
question. I have a question for Prof though. EF Core or Dapper? Hello, Override.
What's up?
Hey, Override. We're exploring Laravel.
I've never used that. I've heard it's a good user experience though.
I honestly thought you used Laravel for, or I mean, no, sorry, I'm thinking of Nelk. There's another web developer that I know that did some work for me. He did Laravel. Sorry, right, wrong person. I did mix you up with somebody else. But we are
Oh,
balls deep in PHP and Laravel, and
yes.
I'm starting to see a lot of bloat. I'm starting to see a lot of bloat, and I'm starting to have a lot of dote because of said bloat.
Yeah, and it's not for you, right? It's not supposed to be about minimalism. It's supposed to be about maximalism, right? Providing you everything you need to
That
build
sounds
an
like C.
enterprise grade app.
That sounds like C++ when I include an H file. Like I take the whole damn thing, even though I only need a specific part.
Yeah, this is designed, but I'm surprised you say that. I guess you've never really used Rails or Django or Laravel, so
No, I've never used Rails before. I hear people say Ruby on Rails, and I'm thinking, what the fuck are Rails?
yeah, yeah, Ruby on Rails, right? Laravel's the modern Ruby on Rails. That's how I always put it. What get chat? Chat is going crazy. Let's look.
Yeah, like the chat has been blowing up, mainly with Prof and Override earlier, but now it's mainly Prof. All right. So what are we doing here?
Yeah. So here I was
Index
playing. I was
or
going. I think what we should do instead, right? A view. Like I'm so bad at front end. I don't want to do the view. Um.
hey, Override,
Let's.
you're front end, aren't you?
It depends.
I'm not front end at
It
all.
depends.
Well, we were gonna pick a project from my mentorship program and do it in
Hmm.
PHP, but then we started doing this to do thing.
Uh.
Hmm.
I heard an and then silence.
No, I wanted to say because I personally prefer Dapper than GEF Core, but yeah. Anyway, seems like Prof wants to make you use EF Core.
Josh's mentality, maximalism.
Is my mentality. If you the compiler framework I work on is often compared to being like the Ruby on Rails Laravel or Django of compiler development.
Mhm.
It's about providing you everything in the box, including a lot of stuff you don't necessarily need, but it's there
Well,
if you need it.
bro wants to go
Because
camping, so rather than packing just what he needs into his knapsack, bro's gonna take the whole RV and bring the whole fucking house.
listen, it's about productivity. My goal is that it should take 1 hour to make a language, an implementation of a language. No
Well,
more.
let's. I don't know. I'm still not convinced with PHP because, like, I don't know. We still don't have anything to show. We've been at this for a hot minute. I feel like
Listen,
I feel like with spring
I'm the
with spring and spring
Well,
boot, I would have had some shit up and going already.
let's. I don't know.
yeah. But that's just because the person who are showing it to you, right, is not very competent at Laravel, right? Right. Laravel is very fast to
Well,
do
you were
stuff.
supposed to show me PHP, not Laravel. Laravel just sounds like a fucking
Uh,
TypeScript with JavaScript. Like just show me the raw dog. Let's do it.
didn't I do that already? We spent like
Uh,
an
did
hour or
we?
more doing that.
Yes, but we never made anything. We haven't made anything yet.
Oh, all right, all right.
Then we decided we were gonna make something, and bro decides to drop Laravel in the mix, and then we get confused, and we spend more time fucking around with Laravel than actually making something. Like I
All right,
see
all
what
right, all right, all right, all right. Let's get your thing going. Let's get your thing going. Fine,
I'm a
fine.
shit on web dev all day long.
You do web dev, so shush.
Shh. My web dev is with Spring Boot. My web dev works. Your web dev is with PHP, which is a pretty horrible programming.
Okay, all right. Um,
Sorry. I like to shit on
fun
PHP.
fact for you though. It PHP is very very popular in France. Um, the government uses it for a lot of things.
Popular in France. The French people hate themselves so much they speak a horrid language.
No,
So
they
it
love it.
doesn't shock me you're gonna write with a horrid
They
language.
actually shit on Spring a lot.
See, and they probably shit on me because I'm English,
Hey,
and that I don't know French,
yeah, especially since
especially since Glabe is French, my last name.
yeah, exactly. Glebby.
It actually used to be spelled Glabais.
Yeah, Glebby, yeah.
Before my grandfather changed it to this spelling when he came over. But that's a whole other topic.
So let's just do something. So let's go and not do what I just did. Let's create a div, right? Let's just create a PHP for each loop of to do as to do. Oops. Sounds good, right? Of course, we need to end that um. Okay, there's our for each, right? And we're just gonna post the to do. So we're going to say div name what?
Oh, no, I'm just again shitting on the language.
Listen, listen.
It's
Timely,
okay.
not much better.
I was gonna say it's okay. You can shit on my time leaf.
Okay, and do by not there.
Get it?
Do by okay. Just let's also okay, so I will just mention here what Livewire is without using it right again. Livewire is you know component-based frameworks for React and Vue, etc., right?
Yes. Haven't used
That
them, but I know.
Livewire right. So Livewire is allows someone to make the same kind of UI component hierarchy with PHP. Just PHP code, and that will automatically be converted to
Okay.
JavaScript by by Laravel Livewire. But let's just keep it here.
I'm imagining TypeScript.
Let's, by the way, what we need to do here is we need to go to our routes, right?
Which now that
Not
overrides
jump.
here, I can shit on TypeScript too.
Yeah.
It's just JavaScript, just JavaScript in the trench coat.
Yeah. I guess.
Okay, we have another commenter in our live chat saying that we need a real-time database. What do you mean by that, dude? You want
Real
real-time
time
data?
doesn't exist.
I mean, we do technically have. There is a JSON placeholder that we can pull from. JSON placeholder.ty, I think it is. It has to-do lists, so you can aggregate and pull from a database for a bunch of to-dos rather
Yeah, and we
than.
set up SQLite. We did set up SQLite.
Okay, I forgot about that.
I know, it's so fast and easy because it's Laravel. So, oh, I know what I did completely wrong. What? Yeah, I know what I did wrong. This belongs here. See, now if I do, now I get completion.
Hmm. The show, that's supposed to be what, the individual one, or what is show supposed to be?
What?
What is the show
I don't
page
even.
supposed to be?
Oh, the show is like show is like an
After we,
individual one, right?
so if we click on a to do, it goes into the specific to do.
I
Okay,
designed this more like an API, to be honest here.
okay.
Even though it's weird, it's not really. This should be an API. But yeah, I can get an individual to do, right? And you can see there's a to do, and in fact, it's completed. And you know why? Because it comes from. Sure, but it comes from. It's not showing. It comes from here.
Okay. And that's sticking the to do in there. Okay.
Find or fail. What is wrong?
Add the method.
Doesn't exist. Oh, it must have been changed. By the way, I should say something here. Yeah, that's what I should have done.
So now
This
this
is
is going to
weird.
return. This is going to return a to do rather than a view.
Um, well, it already returns a to do no matter what. Because view returns it.
Okay.
To do show. I'm just gonna do it the old way. There's that to do, right?
Hmm. Return
Right.
value
This is
is
no,
expected.
that's a view. That's a view. That's a view.
Okay.
Import.
Okay, that's what I was questioning earlier about was the view the type that was being returned was more or less was to do the correct thing to return.
What is it complaining?
Complaining that the method is
That
not found inside of to do.
yeah, it is, but it shouldn't be necessary.
Does find or fail come from the model?
Yes.
Okay, so it's just not doing proper inherit. It's not inheriting it properly then, for some reason.
Okay.
If you can
Yeah,
you
like
can you can you jump into model and search for it there?
let me go something. If I do make no PHP artisan make controller two to do two. Uh,
Too many arguments?
yes, to do two. Right, so when I do that, it creates to do two.
I have to ask just because again,
Sure.
I'm coming from Spring and this just seems like a lot. Why are you going to the terminal to create a file rather than just open up, right click on controller and create it yourself? Just out of
Um,
curiosity.
Sure, because there's a lot of boilerplate that gets set up to make the controller experience as minimal as possible.
Hungry?
So it's more than just creating the to-do.php.
Yes. Yes. Well, in this case, probably not, but it's you can you can
At
just
this
create
point, I'm
most
not
of
shitting on the language. I'm just generally
right.
curious.
Right. Yeah. No. Yeah. So the point of this is that it's about scaffolding. This is what that's called, right?
Hmm.
I can scaffold an entire model. I didn't do it well. I like you could. Let's see. Right. If I like, you could basically do anything at the command line, right?
Hmm.
To like do your basic stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then you can generate 98% of the code you need for something. You can say my model, and you saw us do it because I used the GUI of the IDE, right, to generate that model, right? But I could have, that is a wrapper around PHP Artisan, right? I could have done PHP Artisan to create that model, right? Um, and it's just the ability that you can just, yeah. We were doing very simple things, right? But as you saw, there's a lot of things for like authentication, a lot of shit already built in, right?
Mhm.
Where I can just say use this, right? And I don't have to think about validation, authentication, all that. It's all done logging. It's already done for me, right? And
Yeah.
that's what makes
So
it productive. And by the way, you can see them using traits. So there's, unfortunately for prof, there's more of that propaganda.
Mhm.
Oh, here's a fun one for you, Prof. Can't hide what this shit is doing from someone. No need to decompile. Just read the code. I hear it's a feature, not a bug.
Make some coffee. Seeing
Mhm.
as though we're on the midnight stream.
coffee, coffee, Twitch, Twitch.
By the way, Prof is saying by the way. Oh yeah, okay,
He was kidding
good.
about propaganda. He was just trolling you.
Yeah, I know. Listen, I'm a horrible example. Like I know as someone who spends a lot of times, obviously in how can I put it? I know the ecosystem quite well around tooling, right? And I know what frameworks do uniquely well, right? And I've seen so many people be so productive with Laravel, right? And the reasons why I'm not that experienced, as you can obviously tell, right, with it. Uh
More than me.
yeah, and also by the way, there's one very good point about PHP and Laravel that Spring people and Java people will forget. You know what that is?
No, I forgot.
No need to compile it. No need to wait around for a compile to happen. You can just iterate immediately.
That's okay. I can just fire my shit up in debug mode and just hot swap.
All right. What about if you do something that requires it to compile?
Two
What's that?
second reboot. 2 second reboot.
All right. Have you worked on an actual large code base?
Yep. And it took about 30 seconds to reboot.
Because that
That's here
shit
nor
can
there.
take minutes or hours, right? So, you know,
That's if
just
you're old
saying.
school. That's if you got some old school monolith shit. I work with microservices. They're small implementations.
Oh, they also make you pull your hair out because you have a lot more shit to deal with.
Distributed systems.
I love distributed systems.
Got the coffee brewing.
Hell yeah, bro. That coffee cup
Anyway,
full.
I think I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna stop here. I didn't get to
Okie
the
dokie.
end. What?
I said okie dokie. Um,
But I wanted to show you a bit, right? I think I showed you I
yeah,
showed you the
definitely.
new language.
You definitely
The
showed me
language
that
has
it's not quite
evolved.
as painful as it's not quite as painful as it used to be.
Yeah, and the framework is very, very strong, but I'm not a good shower of that. I think yeah. It's more if you come from Rails, if you come from Django, you're more used to it. I mean, look at this, right? 2 seconds. If I go into RubyMine here for 1 second, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I say new project, a Rails application. Yes, I am aware. Get it? Get the gem. Sure. There is a base Rails app. There's that app. Controllers, assets, helpers, jobs, mailers, models, views, right? It's all set up for me. Look at that application controller. Super easy, right? Progressive Web App starts on ERB, which is embedded Ruby. Funnily enough, they're not even using it. There's some embedded Ruby, right? What I'm just showing you is it's, as you can tell, it's very similar in spirit to this, right? It's about, it should take 2 days for someone to build a big app. Oh, and also I'll point out Laravel is used by a lot of people. NASA, Apple, Nike, Canon, Square, Dropbox. They all use Laravel. DHL uses Laravel. OpenTable uses Laravel. Harvard uses Laravel. New York Times does too. It's just productive if you want to be up and running fast. That's why Rails became so popular, right? Rails became popular because a developer could create something like GitHub in 2 days, right?
Okay, I can see why it became popular.
Think of it in code for now. Web is not my strong suit, so I can show you the
Yes.
ecosystem, I can show you the language, but I understand the fundamentals of the web framework, but I'm not productive with it.
Yeah,
And that's okay.
I'm not very productive on the front end myself. I use time leaf just because it allows me to take away all the abstract, do the shit that I want without all the headache of doing all the back end setups and all the extra configurations. I
Let
like
me
you like your maximalist. I like my simplistic.
yeah. Oops, that's not what I meant to show. What? No. There's that stream. Hello. There we go. Oh, there you can see on their front page, right? How easy it is to do off. Middleware off. Boom. Already authenticated route, right? That's all you need.
Damn.
Pretty simple, right?
Yeah.
There's that ORM, of course. As we saw, migration's pretty easy. Station is easy. Can just do rules like this, required, or what's the maximum, right?
Hmm.
There's a blade template.
Yeah,
There's
that seems
storage. The request has the file. Just store it. You have your queues and of course testing, right?
interesting.
Seems pretty productive to me.
They present it in a way that
And of
makes it
course,
look pretty.
what?
They present it in a way that definitely makes it seem pretty simple to use.
I mean, it is that simple, right? It's just I'm the bad user of the tool. Anyway,
No, you're not, Josh.
what?
No, you're not. You're an amazing user.
Okay. Web front end stuff, web technologies in me, you know. I don't see. This is what I mean. I'm not a web front end guy. Don't put me in that bucket. Okay.
Compiler front end, not a web front end.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
I guess we'll
I'm yeah.
wrap things up here. It's been an interesting journey. Learned a bit about PHP. It's not quite as painful as it used to be. If you guys enjoyed the stream, make sure to hit that thumbs up. Let us get out to more people. And as always, keep your curiosity open, your skills sharp, and your coffee cup full. We'll see you in the next one, guys.
All right.